My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Leon the Professional. And this movie is loved by many. I believe it's rated the 40th best movie of all time on IMDb. Many call it a masterpiece, and I didn't like it. But let's begin talking about the cast. And Jean Reno, I think, does a perfectly fine job. I just don't think Leon is a very interesting character. He falls into a very specific cliche that I feel like I've seen done plenty before, and I just found him to be very uninteresting. Natalie Portman, I believe this is her first performance ever, so I guess she was just great from day one, but yeah, she's actually really great here. There are some scenes where she had to be convincing and she pulls it off. Really impressive work. And Gary Oldman is the standout of this movie. I love him as an actor. He has given so many great performances, but this might be one of his best. Like, this character could have been a generic villain, but he just gives him so much life and personality, and he just elevated this movie in every sense. I also do think this movie has some cool moments. The opening action scene is very cool. The scene when Matilda's family is killed is well done. The scene where Matilda comes home and she is trying to get into Leon's apartment, that's a great moment. The best scene in the movie. And I thought the final fight was pretty decent, but the ending was quite strong as well. I think it's the one time of the movie where the emotions actually hit, and the Sting song worked really well. The music choices in this movie were quite odd, but they strangely worked for me. But what doesn't work for me is a certain uncomfortable nature of this movie. Um, how do I even go about this? The relationship between Leon and Matilda is one that I, first of all, did not buy into. I never cared about these two characters, no matter how much the movie wanted me to. So, as a result, the heart and soul of this movie is completely void. But more importantly, number two, well, I get that Matilda's young, she can't tell the difference between platonic love and romantic love, but the movie just approaches it in a very questionable manner, and viewing it through the lens that this movie is directed by Luc Besson, and you can look into him if you'd like, there's just this uneasiness I have the entire time. Especially the way the movie looks at Matilda. It just feels off, it feels gross. And as a result, that just compromises the entire movie. Um, if you know me, you know my favorite story of all time is The Last of Us games. I just love them so very much. And the first game focuses on Joel and Ellie, and they have a father-daughter relationship forming throughout. But that game just approached those two characters ever so perfectly. There was no weird comments that were dropped, and it just worked. So, like, I've seen this kind of storytelling be done effective before, and here it just isn't. And when you even look into some of the material that was cut from this movie, it's just icky. It's a very icky movie to me. And when the relationship doesn't work, the entire second act is so focused on it that it actually starts to feel like a drag. I just check out there, and I just don't think there's anything all too impressive about the story. Like, it's one of those movies that should have been simple story, complex characters, and that just isn't the case here. It's actually quite dull. So, despite some bright spots, and there is some great spots, the reason why the ending works for me more than anything else emotionally is because it represents new opportunities and new beginnings. It feels like the character has a healthy future. While the rest of the movie, just like I said, it's uncomfortable, it feels icky, and I didn't really find the characters all too interesting. Natalie Portman and Gary Oldman are great here, but Leon the Professional, I'm giving a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Leon the Professional? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.